Hey everyone, I'm Nito King, this is Space Quest 4. Enjoy the new theme song.
Roger Wilco as he rockets back toward his home planet Xenon, which he hasn't seen since Space Quest 2. Having successfully rescued those two ingrates from Andromeda, he decides a pit stop on Magnetheus is in order. During the descent to this cosmic canteen, he is unaware of the interest that has been generated regarding his fate.
Yeah, I know the music kind of drowns out the narration here. There's nothing I can do about that until I get control, so just listen carefully.
We have confirmation of his position, Master.
Off to Magnetheus with you then. It is time for Wilco to meet the fate which I have crafted for him.
As our story begins, we find the aluminum mallard parked outside a seedy spaceport barn. We join Roger as he relates one of his greatly exaggerated tales of adventure. The aliens are only too happy to listen, as long as Roger is fine.
See, there was this deadly root monster, a ferocious swamp creature, and a Labion terror beast to contend with. Then I had to outsmart another of Bohal's gorillas and steal the shuttle so I could penetrate the asteroid fortress and pull the plug on that corpulent creep once and for all. Yeah,
Are you Roger Wilco?
Yeah.
Please come with me.
Hope you recognize the plot of Space Quest 2 there.
Hello, Roger Wilco. Surprised to see an old friend? You have no idea how special this moment is for me. This is no chance encounter, I can assure you. I have this one loose end to tie up before I begin my reign as the supreme being of all that exists. I do not like to lose. You are a blemish on what would otherwise be a perfect record of domination, terror, and invincibility. Besides, I'm still a bit miffed about that asteroid deal in Space Quest 2. Anyway, to relieve the pain of my humiliation and to prevent you from being a pain in my future, you must die. It's been nice seeing you one last time. Then, do the dirty deed.
You go left and split them up. Mr. Wilco, follow me and do exactly as I say. Let's move!
Hey, I want to know what the...
Listen, I can't explain it all to you now. They've got a beat on our coordinates. We've got to move fast. fast. Shield your eyes. Jump into the time rip. Do it now. You've got to. If I take the time to explain, we're both parking lot pizza. You'll understand soon.
Now where am I? You wonder aloud to non-existent auditory organs. This place sure looks homey. Hey, wait, this looks just like Xenon. It is Xenon. It's really a pile. Along with the changes induced by an armed conflict, the city looks different, more modern, with a heavy dash of post-disaster seasoning. Casually glancing at the status line, you happen to notice that you're in Space Quest 12. What's happened? Who was that guy with the overdeveloped hairdryer? Why did you let yourself be talked into jumping into some strange shimmering hole? Why are you talking to yourself? These incredibly intriguing questions will quickly be forgotten with barely an electron stirred in that well-armored orb atop your shoulders.
Alright, and we finally have control. Welcome to Space Quest 12, Vohal's Revenge 2. We got our point-click interface, and I must immediately lower the music volume. Much better. And I'll raise the speed up a little bit, just because I can. And make a quick save, let you guys see the good old familiar SCI save screen. I'm going to be cutting that out most of the time. I just wanted to show you guys how long it takes to save in this version. That is kind of annoying. So here's our familiar cursors: walk, look, pick up or use, talk to, smell, taste.
Ah, the aroma of several adventure games emanates from your person.
Yeah, smell and taste are just novelties.
I'll bet you wish you could.
Now let's look at that big building in the background.
The large structure in the background captures your curiosity.
Indeed it does. Let's go check it out. For lack of anything better to do, really. The perspective makes the division of screens kind of weird here. And that looks to be as far as we can go.
The clearing ends here. Jagged chunks of debris clog the north. A brightly colored mechanical hare wanders about. The hare, anticipating your clumsy attempt to catch it in the open barehanded, won't come anywhere near you.
Alright, so we got the Energizer Bunny wandering around.
Nobody can reach that building from here with their tongue unless they're in a Leisure Suit Larry game. It smells like trouble. What's going on in there?
Well, we're not going to be able to get in from here, so we're going to have to look for another way in. And we'll find it over this way. So we've got a sewer grate there.
This grate has crud, gunk, and sludge built up around the edges. You can see through the grate, but can't make anything out.
And, of course, a dangerous-looking cliff.
A large void indicates the absence of any dense matter.
Oh, we know which way we need to go now. The inaugural early death.
Serious damage to important body parts pretty much screws up any future plans you might have had for living. Bummer. Oh well, just think proudly of your accomplishment. On second thought, just think. It even happens to important people.
Alright, so let's take another look around and actually accomplish some stuff. Now, a lot of this is going to come from repeatedly playing the game and just figuring out what you need to do when.
It's a lightweight, worn piece of rope.
You noticed that, right?
You take the small, frayed, useless-looking length of rope.
Alright, we can use that to lay a trap for the Energizer Bunny. First thing we gotta do is get out of sight so he'll come close. And you can hear that drum beating. We'll just stick that loop of rope out there. And wait for him to walk into it. And who the hell is that?
You start to give the rope a tug, but you realize that the puny little rope couldn't take the strain. Besides, why would you want to catch this grotesque dude anyway?
I don't want to catch him. I want to find out more about him, and I can't do anything but use the hand on the rope.
That was without a doubt one of the finest examples of bunny snatching I've ever seen. The stress placed on the rope during the bunny snatching was too much. You cast the useless fibers aside.
Okay, so we've lost a rope, gained a bunny, and now I want to find out about this guy.
This is the only form of actual life that you've seen here. Its clothes are tattered, and a grotesque metal contraption is clamped to its head, which serves to hold the eyelids permanently open.
Let's try talking to it.
He seems to be unaware of your existence, as though he is controlled by some other consciousness.
Alright, I'll just have to get closer and get his attention. And he walks away pretty quickly. You know, most people have trouble not getting caught by this guy. I'm having trouble catching up to him. Ladies and gentlemen, a screamer in a legitimate graphic adventure game.
We're glad you could play Space Quest 4. As usual, you've been a real pantload.
And there's your generic death message. So, obviously we would need to avoid that guy.
There's a sweet, fruity odor coming from the building.
Wild berry.
Alright, I think he's probably gone far enough now.
The grate is anchored securely by bolts with corroded heads.
And we can't open that grate. We've already seen the only one we'll be able to open. But I need to make sure I've explored the surface first, because I can't get back very easily. Alright, the cyborg is gone. Good time to save. Let's head over this way. And you can see the whole street from here, all 9 screens of it. You just can't make out much detail in many of them. And, of course, like I said, the perspective is messed up. You don't even need to walk to the very top of the screen to move up. I don't like it.
A quick inspection reveals nothing of interest, other than a glove box.
Alright, well, look at the glove box.
It looks like a genuine Pocket Pal portable terminal. After taking a quick look around to reassure yourself that the place is as dead as it looks, you snitch the Pocket Pal laptop. Don't mess with it. You can't do that.
I'm trying to close the inset there.
It's probably the most nauseating thing to smell in the whole family of smells.
And some generic messages here.
It tastes like nothing you'd ever want to put your tongue on again.
Not everything has an interesting taste or smell. And very important in this screen, make sure you're out of sight, hiding behind the roof of this building. Because that droid will come by looking for you all by itself. And now it's safe to make a run for the next screen. If it catches me, then I just wait for it to go. But I escaped to another screen. It's probably going to follow me here, though, so... And there's the cyborg. Make sure I am hidden from him, too. Alright, he's just going by. So let's take a look at this tank here. Up. Droid's coming. You can tell by the music. So just make sure you're hidden here. And you get some points for doing that at least once. Alright, now I want to show you my score is 25 points right now.
The structural warpage and the enormous gaping hole indicate a violent end for this corroding battle machine.
And we saw some stuff inside. What is it?
This is the interior of a battle-scarred tank. A piece of unstable ordnance rests in the corner.
Well, they call it out. I want to take it.
Okay, you now have the unstable ordnance. Remember, it was your idea. Good luck.
You say that like it's a bad thing, but I scored some points, didn't I? Yeah, now my score is 50. So, obviously I did the right thing. Can't go that way, so... And I don't have enough time to hide. Almost.
We're glad you could play Space Quest 4. As usual, you've been a real pantload.
As you can see, the beginning of the game is really annoying with all these random deaths.
Okay.
So, this time let's get out of here before the droid comes. And I've done everything that I can do on the surface for now. So, into the sewers and on to the next area.
I would think that something identifiable as unstable ordnance would be low on your list of fun and healthy things to carry. We hope you'll get yourself together and rejoin us. Isn't this a blast?
So yeah, yet another screw you, although they did warn me quite vigorously against doing that. Fortunately, we can put the unstable ordnance back where we found it.
A very wise choice. Carefully placing the unstable ordnance back inside the tank, you decide some things are better left alone.
And hide from the droid, which I know is coming shortly. But I did get to keep 5 of those points. So, I have at least shown you all the hiding places you'll need to know for when the droid comes by. I don't think it can show up in the center of the street. Could be wrong about that. I mean, obviously there's no place to hide out here, you're just out in the open. Don't mess with the cyborg, don't mess with the droid. And one rather humorous message.
The cool, rank smell of a sewer wafts up from underground. Okay, you taste great and find it less filling.
I'm gonna keep trying to taste and smell stuff just for messages like that. No, get down, cyborg, cyborg, cyborg! Okay, we're safe. Now we can take a casual look around.
The strange little pedestal has wires running between it and the wall. It doesn't smell great, but it smells better than you. Nah, you'd rather not. You never know where it's been. It's an empty jar with a lid, neither of which does anything entertaining.
Useful item.
You take the jar into custody. It's just an average, old-fashioned desk blotter.
Desk blotters always have something important under them.
Ah, a button. Perhaps I'll give it a press.
Data entry 22795. This message is to whomever may be so fortunate as to find it. I am Professor Lloyd, lead designer of the Xenon supercomputer project, the ultimate in artificial intelligence. The computer was designed to enhance our lives, but instead ended up being the ruin of us all. We made the mistake of tying it into the most important facets of our existence here on Xenon, including our weather control and defense systems. It seemed like a sound idea at the time, and all proceeded well for about 3 years. It was around then that a deep space salvage operation recovered what appeared to be some sort of antiquated data storage unit contained in a flimsy cardboard box on which the words Leisure Suit Larry were imprinted. On its back was the picture of a not particularly wholesome gentleman, but that's another story. My counterparts exhibited shameful behavior as they tore open the box to get at its contents. I could not understand the commotion it generated. The data was uploaded into the supercomputer for analysis. As a result, a crippling virus spread through the machine like a bad social disease. All control of the computer was lost. All screens went blank. Then these words were displayed by the monitors and uttered by the vocal outputs. Wilco must pay. From that day forth, the possessed computer waged war on the inhabitants of Xenon, using our own weapons against us. Some managed to escape to other planets. Those of us who remained stayed to fight the machines and robots under its control. It was a bloody war. Those of us that were not killed were taken captive and modified. These cyborgs infiltrated the loyal ranks of resistance, rooting out almost all of our hiding places and exposing us to the mechanical menace. Some of these poor souls still wander the streets. As of this recording, we are down to only a handful of rebels. My health is deteriorating rapidly. To make matters worse, I've just learned that the computer has unraveled the mysteries of time travel. I've sent my 2 best men to attempt to steal this new technology. If you are not a machine, then perhaps they were successful. Please realize, you are Xenon's last hope.
So there we go, the quick rundown of the plot and explanation of pretty much everything that's happened to us so far. Pretty easy to miss if you don't think to look under the desk blotter. But at the very least, they didn't wait until more than halfway through the game to tell us what we're doing and why. So that should give you an indication of who those 2 guys at the beginning were, what the sequel police are doing, and possibly what Vohal's motives might be, and how he managed to come back to life in whatever form he's back. So I'm going to leave it here. I kind of rushed through the beginning. Next time, more looking around and hopefully escaping Xenon. See you guys then.